Good morning, members. Good morning to members of the public who've joined us, agents and applicants, objectors potentially as well. We are obviously in the process of a special sitting here of the Planning Committee this morning, relatively short notice. And so therefore, can I extend the thanks of the Planning Department to the members who have joined us either in person here in the chamber or indeed online as a hybrid meeting. So I'm not going to delay the proceedings any further, just to say that we will work with item number 1 and item number 2, which are the notice and summons of meeting and the members' attendance and apologies. And I'd ask the chair of the planning, or chair of planning, that's me, the head of planning, that's you, Maura, to take item number 1 and number 2.
Thank you, Chair. Members, you're hereby summoned to attend the special meeting of the Planning Committee, which will be a hybrid meeting to be conducted remotely via WebEx and also physically in the Chamber, Guildhall, Wednesday the 14th of December at 11 a.m. Alderman Alan Breslin. Alderman Alan Breslin. Alderman Keith Carrigan. Keith Carrigan. No. Is that right? Alderman Drew Thompson.
Here, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Jason Barr.
Here, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Raymond Barr. Councillor Raymond Barr. Councillor John Boyle.
Here.
Thank you. Councillor Angela Dobbins.
Here, Maura, online.
Thank you. Councillor Paul Gallagher.
And Shaw.
Thank you. Councillor Christopher Jackson.
And Shaw.
Thank you. Councillor Dan Kelly.
And Shaw, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Patricia Logue. Thank you. Councillor Kieran Maguire. Councillor Maguire. Councillor Philip McKinney. Councillor Philip McKinney. Councillor Sean Mooney.
Here.
Thank you. Just go back, Chair, double check. Haven't missed anyone. Alderman Alan Breslin. No. Alderman Keith Carrigan. No. Councillor Raymond Barr. No. And Councillor Maguire. Councillor Philip McKinney. No. That's just,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you, Maura. Thank you, members. Members, a couple of matters of housekeeping, the normal procedures, items 3 and 4. Item 3, the broadcasting statement. I would like to remind everyone present at this meeting in the Guildhall or indeed in attendance remotely that this meeting will be broadcast live to the internet and will be capable of repeated viewing. This broadcast may be terminated or suspended in accordance with our protocol. Due to your attendance at this meeting, you are consenting to being filmed and to the use and storage of those images for broadcasting or training purposes and for the purposes of keeping historical records and making those records available to the public. Members and approved speakers are reminded to only have your microphones and cameras on while speaking at the meeting and to use the chat facility to highlight a request to speak. A copy of the Council privacy notice may be found on the Council website, www.derryandstrabane.com, etc. That is our broadcasting statement. Members, item number 4 is for declarations of members' interest. So again, I'll open that out to the floor. If you have a declaration of interest, you can make it now. There is only one item on the agenda here today, so now's your chance. I don't see anybody in the chat box declaring an interest. There's nobody here in the chamber declaring an interest either. So moving forward and open for decision, members, chairperson's business. I have no personal chairperson's business other than to, of course, wish you all and your families a happy Christmas, and a peaceful and prosperous new year going forward. I think that's right. I think everybody wants to do that at this time of year, so why not? However, I'm going to invite Maura to talk us through a couple of late items, and then when we've done that, I'll give you all about 5 minutes to look through the late items that came in. I think they all came in last night, so hopefully you've all had an opportunity to read them, but if you haven't, we'll take 5 minutes. But Maura, if you just want to talk us through those, and then we'll take 5.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Over and above the report, members, that you've received, there's been 2 further late items which members need to consider. One is a road service consultation, and the second is environmental health consultation response. So both of those have been sent to yourselves and need to be considered before the application's heard. So thank you, Chair. That's really all.
Okay, Maura, thank you. So members, in relation to the single application that we have here in front of us today, it's LA11/2021/0109/RM. We'll hear that shortly. As I said, we'll take 5 minutes to give everybody the opportunity to have a look through the late items that came through, and when I get an indication that everybody's happy to proceed, then we'll move forward then with the report from Sarah Barrett. Okay, so let's take 5 members. Thank you. Okay. Okay, members, I think that's roughly in around the 5-minute mark. So again, just to reiterate the planning application number LA 11/2021 0109/RM. And we'll move to the officer report. So Sarah, over to yourself.
Okay, item 1 is LA 11/2021/0109/RM. It's a proposed major development comprising of 740 dwellings, and the site is the H2 zoned housing lands as defined in the Derry Area Plan. This application has been returned to committee as late objections were received prior to the issuing of the decision notice. The application was previously presented to members on the 8th of June 2022 with a recommendation to approve permission. The report presented to that meeting is appended in members' reports. Members voted to agree with officers' recommendation to approve permission at that meeting. Officers had sought delegated authority to finalise the wording of the conditions and to finalise the modification of the Section 76 planning agreement. So 5 objections have been received since the application was presented. The first objection was received from MBA Planning on behalf of Mr. Aiken on the 24th of June 2022. So since the application was presented to members in June, 5 objections were received from MBA Planning on behalf of the owner of lands at number 19 White House Road. A copy of the objections received are appended in members' reports. To summarise, the objections relate to access to the objector's land at 19 White House Road and the agricultural fields via 2 existing rights-of-way, amenity impacts arising from the use of land as a farmyard and access to and from same, appropriateness of alternative access via residential street, noise, disturbance and health and safety hazard, street not being appropriately designed for large farm machinery and conflict with road users, and land ownership, land registry discrepancies on maps and the ownership of the shed. So responses from the applicant's agent, TSA Planning and TLT solicitors has also been appended to your reports, and a chronology and detailed summary of the objections and correspondence received is also within your report. So you will now receive the late item consultation responses from Environmental Health dated the 12th of December 2022 and DFI Roads dated the 8th of December 22 in response to the latest objection which was received on the 6th of December. So this is just the site location plan showing you the reserved matters red outline application site. And this is an extract from the objection letter submitted from MBA Planning on behalf of the objector. So the land subject of the objection lie outside of the application site for the current reserved matters application. The map has been annotated by MBA Planning to reference the farmyard and rights of way to the objector's land located within the H2 zoned housing lands. And this is the site layout at that part of the site at Upper Parklands, which surrounds the objector's lands at 19 White House Road. The lands surrounding number 19 White House Road show residential dwellings and apartments. The submitted site layout in the application shows part of the existing shed to be removed to facilitate back gardens and landscaping for the proposed dwellings. The closest dwellings to the north are 9 to 12 metres from the boundary with the adjacent land and yard. The closest apartments east are 8 metres from the boundary with additional landscaping proposed. And the apartments and dwellings to the south are located approximately 20 metres away and are separated from the farmyard by a proposed public road and additional landscaping. So there's been a discrepancy over the land ownership of the shed. This is an overlay map provided from the applicant's solicitor, TLT, and the red line depicts the land not included in the application site, which runs through the shed. The correspondence from TLT solicitors included a transfer deed dated November 2000 from Mr. Aiken to Cover Gold Properties, and the advice from TLT is that this transfer takes precedence over an earlier transfer or plan. So in terms of officers' consideration, the objector has raised issues of land ownership and rights of way to the farmland. The maps submitted by the objector are dated in the 1990s. The land registry maps submitted by TLT solicitors on behalf of the applicant are dated 2000 and show part of the shed outside the ownership of the objector. Land ownership is a civil matter. Planning permission goes with the land and does not confer title. The developer is required to own or control all land required for the development as proposed. Access to the lands are provided for as part of the development as proposed. Given the limited size of the land and buildings, officers do not consider significant agricultural use can take place, which would cause significant amenity or traffic issues. And all detail of the objections, correspondence and officers' consideration received is set out within members' report. In summary, officers consider the issues raised in the objections have been fully considered in terms of amenity and access issues. The site in the objector's ownership is also zoned for housing in the Dare Area Plan 2011, and therefore there is a presumption in favour of new housing on the objector's land and on the planning application site. Potential agricultural activity that could take place on the site is not considered by officers to be so intensive as to cause demonstrable amenity impacts to the future residents of the H2 zoned housing lands. Access to the objector's site is not prejudiced, and the objector will retain access to his lands, and DFI roads have no issues from a technical perspective. The issues raised would not warrant refusal of the application on these zoned housing lands, so officers' recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Sarah. Members, the only representations that we have here in front of us today, on behalf of the agent, we have, I hope, online with us, Tom Stokes. And then for further questions, should you wish, we've got Joe McGuinness, the applicant, Andrew Ryan, solicitors for the applicant, David Thompson, Atkins Road Engineer. So, Tom, are you with us there? Yeah, I can see you, so thank you. Tom, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks also to your colleagues for joining us. Tom, I think you know the drill by now. So I'll pass it over to you and we'll give you the requisite 5 minutes or so to outline your perspective on this. Also, before you do begin, members, we also have Paul McSwiggan from the Environmental Health Department of DCSDC. Any questions for Paul would probably be best taken when we move to questions for officers. So Tom, if you'd like to take it away, go ahead.
Perfect. Chair, I won't take up too much of your time, but thank you and the members for the opportunity to address the committee. As you've said, we've got Joe McGuinness, the Managing Director of Braidwater, online, along with Andrew Ryan and David Thompson for any questions. Chair, I think firstly it would be very remiss of me not to say a huge thank you to all the members this morning. I appreciate the significant efforts to convene a special committee like this in the run up to Christmas, and it is genuinely from our side very much appreciated. As you will be aware, following the last committee which took place on the 8th of June, when this scheme was unanimously approved by members, as you have heard from Sarah, a late representation was issued to the Planning Department on the 24th of June and several more since. I must admit that receipt and timing of this representation was quite surprising from our side, bearing in mind that this application had been in the system for around 18 months and the previous outline application for many, many years, and this was the first time that this objector had raised any comment or concern. However, we do fully acknowledge that the planning process unfortunately does allow for representations to be made at any time prior to the formal issuing of a decision, and so here we are today. I don't believe I really need to take up and waste a lot of this committee's time given the detailed update that you've just been provided by your officers, and it does remain for me to also say a massive thank you to the officers for their continued work in relation to H2 and in respect of this significant proposal for the city. Just by way of a bit of an explanation from our side, the urgency around this meeting is to allow for the 3-month judicial review period post-decision in order to allow significant funds to be drawn down before the end of the financial year in March for this project. The reserve matters, members, in front of you today has not changed since you previously made your decision at committee in June 2022. It will deliver phase 1 of the Cashel, which comprises 740 new homes with a mix of social, affordable and private houses, and we would respectfully ask the members to continue to support your officer's recommendation for this hugely exciting scheme for the city. Chair, thank you for your time, and Joe McGuinness, Andrew Ryan and David Thompson and myself are happy to answer any questions that you or the members may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you to Joe, Andrew and David for joining us as well. Members, Over to yourselves. Has anybody got any questions that they would like to direct to the gentlemen either online? Well, they're all online. Anybody? Just note that Councillor Kerrigan is now online, Maura. He doesn't have a question, but I don't see anybody with any questions for you, Tom. Again, thank you to all of you for joining us. Members, now moving across from the applicant, any questions for Sarah or any other of the officers, including Paul McSwiggan, who's joined us online from the Environmental Health Department? And again, everybody seems to be content with not asking any questions. So, members, bearing in mind, I know that most, if not all of you, have certainly seen this application on a number of iterations over the last number of years. Recommendation in front of you from officers here is for an approval. And in light of the information and the information, etc., that you've had in front of you, I open it up to the floor. Councillor Jackson.
Thanks, Chair. And you're right in terms of this application and the H2 lands have been discussed at length by this committee. And from my reading of it, there's absolutely no change to the application that was presented and approved by the committee before. We all recognise the significance of the H2 land and the importance of that the H2 land has in terms of addressing housing need within our city. So I am happy to propose that we accept the recommendation to approve. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. Next speaker, Councillor Gallagher.
Thank you. And I concur with Councillor Jackson. I'm happy to second it. And I think that from what we hear today, it's very important that this project's not jeopardised and that we act upon it as quick as possible. So happy to second it.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Councillor Gallagher. Councillor Mooney.
Thank you, Chair. And like Councillors Jackson and Councillor Gallagher, I would endorse their views. It's a very, very important application for this area. And I was extremely surprised when I saw these objections come in. But I'm actually more surprised. Did the objector notify the committee that they were going to attend today? Or was there any indication that the objector was going to come to council today to present their case? Thank you, Chair.
I don't know as the answer from my end, Councillor Mooney. However, Andre?
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, we did notify the objector that the hearing was taking place today. We've had no contact from the objector.
Thank you, Chair. No, I just find that extremely surprising that if you're going to lodge such a substantive objection to an ongoing major application, then and you might want to engage with the committee on this listed for hearing. But thank you, Chair. That's limit my comments to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mooney. I note in the chat box, Councillor Dobbins, you've indicated that you're supportive of the proposal. We will be putting it to a vote anyway to formally record. Councillor Loke.
Thank you. And like everyone else, I just welcome this development. Just on the consultation, the response from the FIE, they did suggest a condition, and I was wondering, could that be included? It's on the lit items there from the FIE, and it's just prior to constructions. I'll let you read it there.
Do you want me to read it out for the benefit of everybody?
It's on the lid items. It's just something that they thought maybe would benefit the road safety. So I do think it should be included.
I read it out for the benefit because I know sometimes people are switching between screens, etc. So I read it out. There is a further condition recommended from DFA, and it says prior to construction of dwellings 291 to 307, the vehicular access to lands at 19 White House Road shall be provided in accordance with drawing number 319, bearing the date stamp 31st of May 2022, including visibility displays of 2 metres multiplied by 33.0 metres. The area within the visibility displays and any forward sight line shall be cleared to provide a level surface no higher than 250 millimetres above the level of the adjoining carriageway, and such displays shall be retained and kept clear thereafter. And the reason, to ensure there is a satisfactory means of access in the interests of road safety and the convenience of road users. I don't disagree with you, Councillor Logue. I think that's a reasonable enough condition myself, but I'll put it out to the floor to see if anybody else has any other views on that. And in the event that there's no objection to that, then I would suggest perhaps the committee would be content that that condition would also be added. Councillor Logan, you're proposing that, and I'm happy enough to second that as well. And Councillor Kelly, I note that you're content with that extra added condition. Okay. So, members, we have a proposal from Councillor Jackson, seconded by Councillor Gallagher, to accept the officer recommendation for approval of this application. And so, therefore, I'll pass it over to the Head of Planning to record the vote formally.
Thank you, Chair. Members, this is to accept the recommendation to approve on item 1. Alderman Alan Breslin, still absent. Alderman Keith Kerrigan. Alderman Kerrigan.
All right, 4, Maura.
4, thank you. Alderman Drew Thompson.
4, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Jason Barr.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Raymond Barr, still absent. Councillor John Boyle.
4.
Councillor Angela Dobbins.
4, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Paul Gallagher.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Christopher Jackson.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dan Kelly.
4.
Thanks. Councillor Patricia Logue. Thank you. Councillor Kieran Maguire. Not attendance. Councillor Philip McKinney. Still absent. And Councillor Sean Mooney.
4.
Thank you. That's unanimous. Chair, thanks.
Thank you, members. That is unanimous, as recorded, as Maura said. So that application has now been approved. Just to thank you all again, those of you who came in person, those who joined us online, and again, just to extend our thanks to Mr. Stokes, Mr. McGuinness, Mr. Ryan, and Mr. Thompson for joining us this morning. Again, I wish you all a good day and a happy Christmas. As for our elected representatives and some of our officer team who are here today, I know that this has been a long journey, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to the foundations and the bricks and the mortar, etc., appearing on site. But can I just, on behalf of all of you, record our thanks to the officer team for putting this together at what I think was relatively short notice, but a very important thing for us as a planning committee to consider here today before the end of the calendar year, as outlined by Mr. Stokes, the importance of doing that. I know that we had expressed a concern about perhaps having a full planning committee, given the protocol matters that were the online issue with the new system, etc. However, this one's been in the system for a very long time. So again, officers, can I thank all of you for your time and attention to the detail of this particular matter. And without further ado, I'll close the meeting for now. Of course, we have a full council meeting this afternoon. So again, look forward to seeing you all then, either online or in person. So I'll close the meeting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, folks.
Can I just wish everyone a happy Christmas too? Okay.
Thank you, Patricia.
I'll join on with that sentiment as well. Thank you.
I think we've just had a general happy Christmas from across the chamber here. Thank you, folks.